recording.
Good to go.
Alright. So, begins the game, back and forth, push and pull. Last time, the party was settling in when Deli had a dream to show them that they are doing some good, even if they don't really want to. Alicia had a dream where her magic seemed to not work. Popped open a wormhole and said her name was Alicia, which was kind of weird. After that, the party learned more about some sand apes, as well as places they wanted to go in case shit decided to go south or wanted to start a small revolution. Justice taking Deli and Diana with him, leaving the others outside to go get some coffee, made their way into the prison where they were assaulted by some unknown entity that seems to be walking around, while those outside witnessed the anti-magic barrier around the prison kind of just fall apart. So, let's get into it. Oh, fuck. That voice is going to destroy my throat one of these days. Let me find the music for this real quick. Get some water. Alright. Change the map to, or did I not make the coffee map? Fuck, I didn't put it on. Give me 5 seconds, because I actually did make a small little barista area. Or I had a map for it.
Oh, I gotta see this.
With raining flaming bits of a million familiars.
Yeah. Well, familiars just became lightning bolts, but yeah. I'm actually annoyed, because I thought I added this before I took a nap. Oh, I added one, but not the other. Okay. I see where I fucked up. Alright, I hope this map isn't bugged. Wait, loading. Still loading. Oh my god, it works.
Right. Watch together working?
Yes.
It should be.
Yeah.
Is yours glitching? Is it doing that weird thing where it clicks
No, it
where
was like turned all the way down.
Oh,
I'm good.
okay.
I joined the wrong one at first.
That's kind of a normal thing, because I'm the only one who uses one. So, we'll go to the outdoor crew first.
Oh, yay.
Don't fuck up.
We're about to
Alright,
find
so-
out.
So, Fang, Mala, and Alicia, you can throw yourselves wherever you are here. As you kind of are dealing with... Oh boy. I'll throw down Mala. Where is... Am I blind? Yeah, I am. Alright, so all of you have basically just got knocked over by this magical surge. Shockwave. There's a lot of people panicking. There's like most of your coffees have been knocked over because just from the shockwave of everything. A lot of some smaller wagons and carts have kind of been kicked up or knocked over. And just overall, it kind of looks like, I wouldn't say post-apocalyptic, but it's a lot of a mess of just from a giant magical surge kind of running through. All of you currently are prone, so just because the surge was that strong to knock you all over, so.
I should lie on my feet like a cat would.
Up to you.
Yep. I'll just roll dexterity, see if I...
That's fine. You're fine. That wasn't like a huge DC, so.
Fangs kind of just gets up quickly, looks at everybody. That is bad, yes?
Yes.
Should we run over there now, or should we wait for Deli, Deanna, and Justice to run out with whatever just happened, chasing after them most likely.
Ideally, we should probably go to them. But in this instance, I think it would be a wise idea to inspect our surroundings first, because whatever that was, there's no way that was just them.
Fangs gives a very quick look around.
Probably a perception.
Me or...
Well, if you both are, you both can.
Okay.
Okay. 17.
Just waiting for... There we go.
Jesus Christ.
Fang does not give too much care for surrounding civilians and other people because they're not his
Okay,
war
give me 1
band.
second. I gotta get their token and also some new thing I added. Alright, so as you two are looking around, well, the three of you, Mal is still kind of, at least for the moment, unconscious. From what you can tell, probably the surge hit him a little too hard. Probably like hit his head off the table and then kind of knocked out. Hold on. You hear a lot of people running, screaming, and then see if I can find blocks. What's the volume on this? Do I want this higher or lower? No. There. Oh wait, I can't change that. Okay. Let's play that. Kind of far off, sitting on a building, just looking at everything.
Shift ping. So, is it only Alicia that sees it, or does Fang see it?
Both of you do. But they didn't roll that high on my stealth.
Oh,
It's
perfect.
not like they're trained hard.
Fang just
Hide.
goes, that one. Let me just check one thing. That's right, there's walls. Wait, how high?
So, to explain, she's like on the, like kind of an overhang of a building, so about like 20 feet, and you are actually in an outdoor area. I know it kind of looks indoor because of the design, but it's more like an outdoor kind of dining area for people to kind of relax and enjoy, since usually Slankton's generally really warm.
Okay.
So that plus 20. Up.
So 60. Okay, that's fine. Just want to make sure I got everything. Yeah, I still got my spells. I'm trying to remember what hurt me.
Roll. You want to know above table or?
Above table. I'm just trying to remember what injured me. I'm just looking at my notes.
Remember when I rolled the magic surge? I did actually have a damage type to it when it.
Ah, okay. So never mind. No worries. I was just trying to remember what injured me. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Fanny has always been shoot first, ask questions later. So I'm just gonna move a little bit more closer. Let me see. So that would be here, and then if it's 20 feet up. So 20, I should be within range to use it still.
Yeah.
Bonus action of Horizon Walker. Where is it? Here we go, Planar Warrior. And going to shoot.
Okay.
Because I remember this person.
It hits, but kind of like before, it's kind of like second one doesn't. But the first one, as it hits, it seems like it still manages to do something, but almost kind of like slinks through this kind of apparition of smoke in a way.
Fangs just gives a quick snarl. If I guess we're not rolling initiative, he will get the dagger out and start going towards it.
Well, this thing doesn't seem to be attacking. It's got like it did before, just watching and reacting more so than anything else. Ellie, are you doing anything while this fucking shooting?
That's what I was saying. Like, I don't want to just have Fangs do a whole bunch of things and.
Yeah, that's why I. Liam? Hello.
Yeah.
Alice, would you like to do anything? Who's a funny person?
I want to move right next to, right behind
Okay.
Fangs.
Go right ahead, because we're not in initiative, so.
Move right there, and I'm gonna inspect the ground.
What are you looking for?
Just, let me do this.
Well, roll an investigation, I guess. It's some ground.
Yes, the floor is made of floor.
I don't know what you want. You gotta be
No.
more specific.
I'm inspecting the ground for the material just in case I have to summon a golem.
This would probably, since it's a lot of paved stuff, probably stone again.
Stone. So the floor is made of floor, which is stone.
Correct. Yes.
Interesting.
Would you like to lick it too while you're at it, just to put me out of my misery?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Oh my god, fucking kill me. You lick the ground, it tastes like sediment.
Do I have to roll anything?
You have to roll a constitution because there's probably blood in these fucking streets. It tastes horrible and you almost throw up, but thankfully you don't. God damn it! I can't. Give me a minute. Fang, you watch as your new elfin friend hops down off like the kind of elevated area of the barista, looks at the ground really closely, and then licks it.
I think on table Fangs is currently a little too focused on the thing in
I
front of
know,
him.
but your passive is high enough. You'll hear some sounds at the very least.
I will roll
You
this
survived
instead.
tetanus. Instead you required dysentery.
Fang's not looking in any direction except to the enemy in front of him. We'll just simply speak. Ellie, Mala, are there things behind us, or why do I feel like I'm hearing edible noises? Is that how they pronounce it?
Get out where you at, man. There is nothing behind us. I'm simply testing the ground.
Hold on. Roll me another perception. Take that.
Me?
Both of you.
Here we go.
Oh, you're not gonna like this one.
No. As Fangs, you're too laser focused. Ellie, as you get up from licking the ground and surviving, I guess, tetanus and like 4 venereal diseases all at once. Give me a minute.
Huh?
You see. Where are they? There. Or that's. Let me just expand that a little bit more. And then I'll shift Z. You see that.
Oh, shit.
And it's not walking towards you, if anything. It's kind of going more towards the prison area.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'll let you do with that information what you will.
Okay. I throw a very small pebble at Fangs, aiming for the head.
Alright, just roll me a fucking to hit, I guess. What's your strength mod? The big number.
1.
Okay, just roll me a d20 plus 1.
D20 plus 1.
I have a certain, like, thing in mind. Well, you threw it past him. Probably hit a small child on the head. And now the child's knocked out in the street.
Go on.
No, that's it. Bags, what are you doing as you watch a rock go by and knock out a small child? Or at least go, ah! And the fucking child just gets fucking pelted by a rock. Oh my fucking god.
Okay,
I can't have a fucking serious campaign. I can't.
Fangs just not taking his eyes off of the armored figure, just simply says to Ellie and Mala, "So there are enemies behind us. I will focus on this one here."
Turn around.
Bags, do you hear that? I'll leave it up to you. Ellie told you to turn around.
I want to roll persuasion.
You don't have to roll. I usually don't roll persuasion against it. It's more
No,
of a
he's
character
he's
thing.
unfortunately laser focused on the thing in front of him.
Yeah.
So
I generally don't like also having like those kind of rolls for player to player usually, unless it's
that's his bonus action.
okay.
He's taking out the bone dagger. He's not turning it into the black razor just yet. And then because he has 45 movement speed, let me just make sure he has enough to get up there. So that'll be oh yeah, he'll just climb right up there. Up and then go up to 20.
I should have probably marked hers. Oh well.
And
So
Wouldn't it be 30 feet up, or is he on 20?
she's only up 20.
yeah.
She's not on the roof. She's on like a off-hanging balcony, kind of like an overhang, kind of like a ask. But Fangs, you said you're going to stab with the bone dagger, right?
Yes. I didn't turn into
We're only a perception.
Sure. Let me just click off advantage. I was about to take the swing first.
Okay.
I
Go
still
ahead and roll it.
I take swing. It's still in the bone dagger form, so I don't know if it'll affect this thing or not.
Okay. So Fangs, you gotta stab it with the bone dagger, and then you realize, as you look in your hand, it's not there. And for the briefest of moments, you see a fucking what is it? You see their sight kind of just glowing, and they're kind of still just looking at you. What do you do?
Wait. The bone dagger's not there.
At least from what you can tell now.
You know what? With that very same hand that supposedly holds the bone dagger, I'm going to use it as a improvised claw weapon into this thing's body.
Okay. You can certainly try.
I will certainly try indeed. Okay, so I have a question then on table. Would my Zephyr Strike still be in effect, considering that I don't have
I'll
weapon?
still give it to you. Because
Okay,
technically that didn't hit,
okay,
if I remember correctly. And
Yeah.
the thing wasn't there. I wouldn't want to rob you of that.
okay. Just want to make sure. Alright. So that very same hand that supposedly has the bone dagger, I'm going to attempt to shove this into this thing's body. Or at least where I could find what I think might be an opening.
Go right ahead.
19.
Okay, so you do feel like you make some sort of contact, but the moment you do, again, it's kind of like grasping at smoke or trying to something to that regard, and you just kind of, you feel like it grabs onto some tendrils of something, and then it kind of just doesn't feel as impactful as it normally would. And I just need a strength save real quick, because
Sure.
I'm gonna just try to... Okay, so you feel as they kind of, as you do that, it feels like it's almost pulling you in.
Oh, that's fine. I want to be up close and personal with this thing.
No. You misunderstand.
Okay.
It's like pulling you into the void. Like, it's kind of like consuming you into itself almost, but you're able to free your hand from it.
Okay, well, I still have one more attack, and just make sure I mark this thing as my favorite enemy now. If I landed the hit,
Oh boy.
let's see what my scimitar does to it.
Hits. Alright. Again.
Hold on. Is it adding the +2 to the dueling? Yes, it does. Okay.
Okay. So you still hit it, and it feels like there's contact, but it's not as effective as you think it normally would be. It's the best way to describe it.
Well, that's it for Fangs' attacks, but he is definitely
Ellie,
going
you watch this abomination of a thing, again, kind of just walking. No one seems to be stopping it, and roll me another perception.
Oh, no.
Frank. Wow. I think you only rolled 22. You watch as, like, there's a few guards that are kind of going towards this thing, and as it gets close to them, like, I'd say about a good distance away, you can't really tell from this far away, but you watch as their souls, or at least their body, seems to be kind of drained of any vitality, kind of like a juice box almost, and then they kind of just fall to the ground as this thing walks.
Oh my god.
Go on. One thing, since you did roll such a high perception, you notice it's not targeting any of the, I'll say, common folk or any of the normal people, but instead is kind of focused specifically on, like, any knights of the prison, that from what you had saw. That's it. I'll let you do with that information what you want.
Let me
Hold on,
roll.
though.
Oh.
One thing. Miser? Wow. Well, of course. Alright.
Daredevil's luck.
Thing doesn't really like you that much. I need you to make me a charisma saving throw. You're about to be banished.
Sure thing, boss.
Okay, I'm sorry. The DC's is 17, so boop!
I do have a question now on table, but this is I leave it up to you how to rule it. But could I possibly force myself back with the ethereal step?
No, purely because that only would get you to the ethereal, not the prime material. You basically have to be like jumping through 3 different hoops, because you have to go through the plane you would be onto, through the ethereal as like a jump gate, and then to the prime material.
Okay, one last dumb on the table question. Could I use the detect portal to possibly find a way back in through the way they shunt me out?
I would allow it. But as you pop, for at least since it's still their turn, they kind of descend downward almost in a float, and then just kind of stop, and then look at you, Alicia, not doing anything. Just kind of craning their neck, in an almost disgustingly looking way. Oh wait, sorry.
Hey.
there's one extra thing. They hold out their hand to you.
Oh,
I will let you decide how you want to deal with that.
want to reach out.
Alright, do you grab the hand?
Yep.
Alright, we'll get back to that in a minute. As you touch her hand, Fangs, since you're using Detect Portal, we'll kind of roll with this. As Alicia touches this being's hand, you come back through and you kind of, just roll me like a straight wisdom, I guess, for how this will work. I'll
Okay.
kind of time it from
I
that.
do have one more question now I think about it, but in the moment I was sent into the ethereal plane, or when I was banished, is my bone dagger back in my hand still?
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay. Another dumb question, which I know Deli is probably going to kick my ass later for doing this.
Okay.
But could I possibly use the bone dagger as a focal point back to the material plane with the tech portal?
Roll me a D100.
Or at least, oh crap, here we go.
There's actually a reason.
33.
Okay. You think it could maybe work? So here's how I'll roll it. Roll one more D100 and then just call high or low.
I'm going to go... I will go high this time, just to see if the devil's luck works or basically fucks me over. Damn it,
Right.
I won! Oh shit!
Jay, I
What's
sense
actually gonna happen?
fuckery.
Oh shit!
No,
I just feel something in the ether's being fucked with, and I'm gonna get blamed for it.
What's it gonna change?
Not much.
Banks just gonna be thinking of, right, I believe, as everyone complained about Deli doing something strange, perhaps I can get inspiration from Deli.
Fucked around. Now it's time to find out.
Oh, this is great. I didn't think he'd be here so early.
Oh no.
Oh, and that great.
Alright, so Fangs.
Okay, well, I'm
So
just
you
trying
do,
to decide.
it goes off, and you're able to use Detect Portal with the bone dagger and actually, like, rip a decent hole back to the prime material. Because one of the abilities on it that I haven't revealed to you yet is it has an ability that, because for whatever reason planeswalkers don't get it, but to create a portal to places that you've been. It's one-time use, and it's per day, but I'll add it later.
Oh shit.
So,
I
it worked.
I did not even realize oh fuck, I stumbled into, I literally bumblefucked into that one.
It was funny because I had it planned for a while. I'm like, I'm waiting to see if he ends up using it on accident or it'll be revealed normally. Anyway, so you do that, but as you rip it, you remember from your dream that other you that was covered in all the fun viscera of your friends? You kind of watch yourself split into two as you're going through this portal, and you watch that other, we'll say, murderous part of you just get shunted somewhere else. So that's where the one's coming in. So congrats, you brought a murderous version of yourself into this realm. Even more so.
Oh.
So that'll be fun for me to write later.
So I'm aware of this, right?
Oh, you see
thanks.
it. Like, you 100% see this as it was that same creature from your dream.
Could I use a reaction to take an arrow shot at it?
You could certainly try. It's gonna go off your AC, so...
That's perfectly fine. I got a 17 AC. It should not be too difficult unless I roll like complete acidine. Here's another longbow shot.
I did not think you would fuck up that hard. Okay, so it does hit, and you do hit it, but it's probably just more either bloodlust or that it's free. This being just kind of gets shunted somewhere else. You don't know where. And as you do that and come back to the prime material, you watch as Ellie takes this thing's hand, and with the tech portal, watch it just pop.
Oh. Oh. That might be bad. Mala, are you... Did he do something strange with the mind magic thing?
No, Mal is just unconscious.
Well, Fangs doesn't quite know that. Just...
They try to find out, I guess.
Yep. Do. Fangs runs over. Shakes Mala. Mala. How will Justice or Deli wake up? Right. Mala, there's, Warren will need your help. Right. That might not be it. Fang starts smacking Mala a little bit.
Man, what I would give for River to be here.
I'm pretty sure I get a rage, but get to the face right now.
Things that happened so far. Alicia killed the kid with a rock. And then got teleported, and Fags created an evil club that'll murder things. It's fine. Alright, back to the other crew that's probably gonna fuck something up. Alright, so, Justice, Ellie, and Diana, you were told to leave. You kind of exit out of the door, and you notice a lot of the guards either are, like, knocked over, probably due to the magical surge, or have kind of left to try to protect or grab any prisoners on the escape. So what are you guys doing?
We're leaving, right?
Justice steps out the door. Where is the bloody Jacapa Rosa agents who are supposed to be protecting everyone here?
Technically, they're not meant to protect everyone there. Never mind, I'm not gonna get into that. One of the guards who probably is still kind of like getting over himself from the surge just looks like it. They make contact. They're on their way. Slowly.
Good, because you just had an assassin try to assassinate not only my client, but myself.
You can tell.
Me too.
And Justice is like staring him down by that lawyer stare down of how fucking dare you. Which doesn't come off well as blind, but you know.
She's actually staring at the wall. She's threatening the wall. No, like she's turned around facing this wall and just yelling at it.
I will have your badge. No, she doesn't say that to them.
Alright, Karen, calm down.
Alright. Just as long as you don't cause any trouble or try to escape, you'll be fine. Just get out. As this one guy's kind of just, I'd say leaning on his sword as he's trying to, like, it looks like that magical surge didn't do him all that well. So, seems like there was yelling and stuff coming out that way from the prison. I don't know what was.
I would say is that you have assassins attempting to kill people here, so I imagine they probably have some kind of distraction.
Well,
It's supposed to be the most secure fucking prison in this country. What the fuck is this? Famous, come out here and be put in this man's custody.
you want me to just watch him so he doesn't die?
Justice kind of does that. Yeah. but that doesn't say it.
And he's gonna kind of lean over and starts. Let me roll. Let's give him a quick medicine check. That makes sense. He's not a medicine man.
No. So they get paid the most, they get this, they get medical benefits.
Fucking. Damn it! Thank you. What do you do? Like, I'm generally curious. Do you, like, just punch him in a few spots? I just
No, at first she'll, like, look at, she'll, you know, do a cursory thing, and then, yeah, it is probably, like, some acupuncture or acupressure level pop, pop, pop.
Oh.
There's an old kung fu movie thing where she pokes him in certain spots, and suddenly it's like, what? Oh, okay.
Oh. Thank you.
Yeah. Taking a minor in medicine to paid off.
Are you going to... There we go. Going to wonder if you're going to chill in my cell the whole time.
Well, that wasn't your cell, that was the questioning room anyway, but I was waiting to make sure that we weren't going to get stabbed.
No, for the most part. Outside of... Actually, just throw me... I guess a perception as you're doing the medicine check and just punching this man. Nah, that makes sense. You're good. Actually, roll it again since you rolled so well with your medicine. Fuck it. I'll give you an advantage on that since you rolled like a nat 20 and almost got a 30. Okay, that makes more sense. So as you're kind of like doing this and you know general key pressure points and all that, you do notice, and Famous kind of like gives you the nod when he says to watch the guy, there's small like auras of something that doesn't belong. I would say more of like akin to not corruption, but like some kind of necromantic kind of aura that was lingering on this person before you did all the fancy punching. Now it seemed to be fine.
Well, that's an interesting amount of necrotic energy. Make sure everyone gets checked out and make sure there's a Copper Rosa kit here ASAP. I better go make sure the idiots are still alive.
Alright.
My guess is no.
My guess is they probably did something, and I don't think it was us, but I don't know. They're idiots.
I really
this is the
hope
problem.
I really hope it wasn't our problem this time.
Well, I mean, this is why I left Mala outside. I was hoping that maybe, just maybe. Because, I mean, think about it. I mean, let's be honest. She looks at Diana. If I brought Mala in here and left you with the other two, something was going to happen. Let's be honest about that.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was inevitable that something was going to happen.
She just thought a character that's not even here. Alright, so we'll get. So as you.
What? I never do anything.
Oh shit! She's just covering the map. We did cover the prison, to be fair. Oh god. Anyway, so as you're all doing this, again, Deli, Justice, and Diana walk out to what looks like a smaller war zone. Like, it's a lot of just like a magical surge kind of went through. There's a lot of things torn astray. Like I said, some carriages and carts knocked over. Some people are laying on the ground unconscious. Deli, because this is kind of just more out in the open. And just as you can kind of sense this, as you're walking, you see the guards kind of looking like, I have described before, as like juice boxes that have kind of been just sucked dry.
We didn't pass this thing as it came in?
There's a reason why not. Might have just left. But all you can see are people just on the ground, drained of everything.
Fuck it.
Frank's probably tried to fight it.
Scared. Justice cares enough to do this.
What are you gonna do? What are you trying to look for?
I'm trying to figure out what the fuck juice box the fuck out of these people. We ain't in fucking Avu.
Jay, are they alive?
No. I'm gonna say that right now. No.
Don't think Fang folk did this.
Oh. Well, that's surprising.
Again, kind of like before Justice, you feel that same necromantic, especially with like just a medicine check now that you kind of know what you're looking for. It's that same kind of necromantic aura for like a split second before it kind of wisps off.
Somebody used a hell of a bit of necrotic energy to do something.
Well, if it's still lingering around, I'll use a spell slot to cast Detect Magic to see if I can see anything lingering.
Just roll me so I can get some exact so I can give you what you're looking for. Or, place the spell, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm just pulling up my sheet.
No worries. Been a while since I've played this thing called D&D. Like one whole week has gone by. And I forget.
Magic Cast. Magic Cast. It's literally my first spell.
Sense presence magic, but if you sense magic in any way, you can use your action to see fame around any invisible creature or object that bears magic. So kind of the same thing, at least from like a cursory glance of, yeah, this is necromantic, and what exactly are you trying to glean, just so I can have an understanding of what I can give?
I mean, Telly's trying to see if he's seen this type of magic before, really.
I would say it's maybe close to, but not a one-to-one. Like, your sisters practice some necromancy, so you have, like, a taste of it, but it's definitely not, like, the stuff that would make the conductor, because that is to unalive them and have them still function. This is to kill someone and kind of keep them dead.
Yeah, I don't think these can even be revived at all.
Oh, that's unsettling.
Yeah, most necromancies use to, like, you know, bring things back from the dead and use them as tools and stuff. That, whatever that is meant to keep them dead. Which does not bode well for us.
Well, you see anybody else? Nothing's burning, so
As your
I don't
detect
think
magic
Alicia did
pops, as your detect magic pops up, you also notice the fangs kind of popping in for a brief moment from, like, at the very edge of it. Because probably.
Oh, he ain't dead. Where the hell was he?
Yeah, it'd probably be close. It'd be like at the very edge, or like you feel like a sense a little bit further than normal, but it's definitely fangs popping in. Let me go back to the coffee shop. So glad I found this map. Alright. There is fangs, and fangs slapping an unconscious Maleth.
Why do I hear someone slapping someone?
It's Fang slapping Mal.
Okay, I was worried there was a necrophiliac around here, and I was going to be a little bit unsettled.
You probably just hear
No, fangs. No, fangs. Stop, fangs.
Would not
the
be
armored
done.
figure thing probably did something to Mala. Mala, wake up.
No, fangs, fangs.
Where were you?
The armored figure appeared, and I tried to fight it and did some weird magic. It took...
Chick smoke?
What is a chicken? Wait,
Smoke.
what is it, a chicken?
You fought a chicken?
No, it was an armored figure with weird smoke out of its body.
Okay.
It was whistling.
First of all, let's get Mallet up. So I'm going to need you to do this. It's a very uncommon, very rare method of doing this. Clearly the slapping is not working. So what I need you to do is come over here and you put your arm around this part and your other arm here. Hold the head, cradle the head. Now close your eyes and pucker up. And you need to press your lips against his. I know it's very weird, but don't worry. It will work.
No, but that being said, we have other
You're
things
the
to worry
worst kind of
about.
person, Moogle.
We have other things to worry about. The armored creature thing took Ellie, and I attempted to escape the imprisonment that thing put me in, and I think my soul split. The nightmare version that I was worried about came out.
Fucking what?
Wait, did you just say like evil twin shit or something?
Hank Fangs just created his own evil twin.
So there's a Fangs outside with a goatee?
What?
Yeah,
And a twirly mustache.
it's twirly whiskers, actually.
If I could see, I would imagine this, but I have absolutely no idea what this actually looks like, so...
I did mention about one that those bizarre dreams, one of them I saw or confronted a version of myself that was fully indoctrinated in the Red Claw mindset. It seems like it became true. I would know
I'm being
I shot him.
hunted by evil Fangs.
I would know I shot him. Also, oddly enough, as he holds the bone dagger out, when I tried to stab the armored figure, my dagger vanished. And when I plunged my claws into its body, it seems like it was trying to pull me into itself, like the cold darkness of the void.
I threw a table through it.
So one thing, Fags, I will point out that you didn't notice as well. Its scythe was glowing when you tried to use the bone dagger against it.
Oh, the thing also had a large scythe weapon that glowed.
Oh, I bet it's one of, what's her name? A bitch you really hate.
I
The one
was
who made the
only-
fake sister.
You just hear a low growl of pure vitriol and anger.
Sorry, I couldn't think of a name. That was the only thing I could remember.
Alright.
But, you know, I mean, the scythe, that's kind of a death symbology thing, you know.
I do not know about these symbologies you speak of.
Well, I don't think we really have time for a library visit, so Alicia's gone. What did the 25 tell me about Mal?
Mala is just unconscious. He'll probably be up in like an hour or two. It's just he hit his head off the table, probably from the magic surge. But it'll be
Alright.
fine.
Alright.
Fangs just adds, I suspect the armored figure did something to Mala's mind, since I do not know why, but upon my escape, and I believe as Deli would put it, fuck up,
Well, I
Ellie
don't think
was-
Mala is explicitly going to appreciate this, but if somebody has a long rubber glove, I know this revival method used by Seki Fujitsu massage. I will need someone to pull down his pants.
Oh,
I'm gonna reach down and touch Mel in the back of the neck, and he's a very light, shocking grasp.
Why?
just dicks, that's about it. Anyway,
They're assholes, and I need him gotcha.
Alright, let me roll. Of course I have to roll for them. God damn it, I hate you people. Me tries to
Give me
force
the worst
barbarian
recap
out.
ever.
I can't wait till Ripper comes back.
Are you fucking drinking coffee?
is that what this strange black liquid is?
I thought when people gave you things of the color black, you thought they were trying to marry you or something.
Yes, there is the bonding ritual of shadows.
Okay, so Mala, after that, kind of the body jolts, and she kind of wakes up. Like, I'm not going to talk for him, so they're just kind of more annoyed than anything.
Morning, sleepyhead. They took Ellie. We gotta go.
Justice slowly puts away the marker.
All right. Meanwhile, David, I have some fucking changes.
I think we'll also just add the
I don't want that.
apology of, yes, I do apologize for fucking up and apparently making the nightmare a reality.
Bangs, shit happens. Don't worry about it.
Bangs, if the worst we have to do is kill you, I mean... so long as you don't kill me first, I figure we have a fighting chance. Well, Mala.
I think he's gone over this. He would pick me first.
I did shot him, so there should be an arrow wound on him.
Oh, hell.
A minute, because I have to find...
I mean, it's worst case, I don't think he... it's worst case, he kills Jimmy again.
I fear he might wear
hell.
Jimmy.
I don't even know where he is.
Oh
He
no.
told you he's just going to do more sale shit.
Yeah,
But-
that doesn't tell me where he is.
Very true.
And
Okay,
Where's he?
as you're all doing that and pondering what to do next, I'm gonna go here. It's been a while.
Uh-oh.
Where?
I believe this is where Ellie's at.
Let me find that token then real quick.
Join us.
Become one. Kill your friends.
For the greater good.
The greater good. Fucking love that movie. Fucking Hot Fuzz is amazing. Stop saying that.
I
The
think I
greater
know.
good. Alright, Alicia, as you take this thing's hand, you pop into, here, right here. Actually, let me make sure the map moves. Yeah, it did, okay. You are right here.
Where?
Right next to, right there. Don't look at the Motley map. That doesn't exist. And you're in this kind of, what looks like an odd kind of coliseum almost. A lot of aspects of this world seem like it's torn, thunder, kind of ripped. It looks confusing, but also familiar. What do you do?
I look out. Just
As you kind of peer in the distance, it's a lot of that same kind of purple smoke that seems to span. And your eye, every time it keeps on rolling by, it's like your eye can't focus on a specific point, and it kind of just keeps, almost like a big illusion, where it just constantly keeps moving. Shut up. What looks like a giant, almost kind of purple ocean of this similar kind of looking, kind of just mist everywhere. Hold on. And as you're kind of doing that, you hear, "Is there anything catching?" You hear from kind of a voice off distance, "Is anything catching your fancy, child?" Apparently a land where fire trucks exist.
Ah, shit, you guys could hear it. Damn it.
No, I heard it once. I was making a joke. It's fine.
First time in a very long time.
Yeah, no worries, man. That's why I was making a joke.
Yeah.
What do they say? Some call it the land in between. Others call it the realm of the dead. It's a... how to put it? Crux point, more or less.
You see, I'm dead. Just like,
No. Not dead, dear. If you were dead, you'd be one of... And she kind of pulls back the mist. One of the many floating souls coming through. And you can kind of see, like... Even though you couldn't focus on it at first, a lot of different kind of souls kind of passing through this kind of... We'll call it like this sea of like purple mist and everything. Though this wouldn't be... No. I may be thinking of someone else. She's kind of looking you over. Now then, my assistant, if you would leave. As she kind of points at the other individual, who just kind of pops into mist and just kind of disappears. Do you have any questions? Sure, I can try to answer one.
did you deliberately pull me in here?
Deliberately? Maybe. You yourself are an interesting individual.
Why?
You not know of your past at all.
Yeah, I was a kid and then I grew up and then I'm here.
Well, perhaps. Allow me to indulge, if you would. And she kind of just floats across. And let me shift to your token. Been a while. It'll be great. Now, if you would hold out your hand.
I cautiously hold out my hand.
And then you get thrown into the river and die. You're not
Tragic.
As you do, you feel memories kind of running through your head. Some you do remember growing up, going to the library constantly, going through different books and stuff. A few religious bigots and all that, dealing with all the fun of that. But then there's another piece that you don't remember. You see your arms wrapped up bandages all the way from from the bottom of your wrist all the way up to your shoulder, both of them. And you see yourself kind of in like this long kind of flowery dress. You don't remember how or why. It's just feels like a part of you in some way or another. And as you kind of exit out of that, roll me an intelligence saving throw real quick.
I could tell you this, I'm not very smart.
That doesn't matter. Okay, you're going to take that much psychic damage as you start to see that and your nose just starts bleeding. And she's like, you're an interesting case. A person balancing on both ends, but doesn't necessarily understand which one will win. Much like your friends, though, where their tempering was accidental, you're more natural.
How so?
Well, think of it like this. And she kind of, like, creates this small kind of balance scale. Your essence, and she kind of makes these two different, red flame and a blue flame, is currently balanced, where you can, how do I put this? Traverse between both without any inverse side effects, where you will constantly repeat the same aspects of your life through different people, but still being the same. Whereas your friends, the one with the weird arm and the one with the messed up tail, have created an imbalance. Though not on purpose, or at least I assume not. Where they collided all they have into something that shouldn't have been. Though, judging from what I just sensed recently, your one friend may have made another half that probably shouldn't be roaming in this world.
Somehow, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, Marty is quite the chaotic one.
Oh, I understand. Now then, in order to ensure balance, would you like to go back to your friends again?
Can you teach me anything before I go?
What would you like to learn?
Something you think I'll need.
Roll me a D100. Or, fuck, no, I'll roll it. Okay. Let me look through something. I need to look up... Give me a minute. As she's kind of looking you over, thinking about it. Actually, this may help. As she's kind of rummaging through a few things, she kind of looks up at, like, her, accoutrement and gives you this smaller astral feather. Only use this when in grave danger, and it will assist you. So you could put astral feather in your inventory.
Okay.
Also, is that bread I smell? And as you
Yes,
do
yes,
that,
it is.
hold on. Gotta roll it. Oh my god. You watch as you realize your subscription to BreadTube is coming up, and it's that time of the day, and a giant fucking tube of bread just shoots out. God damn it. Of course I roll it here. Well then. Not something you see every day.
No, I guess it's not.
Alright, as I said before, would you like to go back and see your friends?
Yeah, I have a feeling they'll need my help.
Alright. And if they ask, tell them that Nemesis had sent you. And as you do that, she reaches out her hand, and again, you're kind of cloaked in that weird kind of smoke. I'll type out her name. going through every God of Balance slowly. And let me put the music back on. Where is it? There we go. And alright. Oh my god. Duh. I forgot. As you are all talking and kind of moving Mala, Ellie, you just kind of pop back up. Just right here. Yep, there you go. So as you're all trying to move Mala, you just hear like a kind of smoky pop and Alicia is back.
Fangs had the longbow drawn and ready to fire, but you see that Zelly.
We just dropped Mala.
You're back!
Are you unharmed?
Yeah.
What had happened? The armored figure took you somewhere.
Nowhere. Just, vanished a little bit.
The hell do you mean vanished?
You know, I zippity zap zoop somewhere else.
I
That
am
isn't here.
inclined to not believe that, considering... What happened?
That's it. What do you try to insight? Because they technically did vanish, and it's not like they're lying about that. Unless you're trying to, like... I would need more of what you're trying to dig for, Moogle.
Honestly, she's just trying to see if she's lying, but...
No, she did zippity zap zoop.
Yeah, no, Fangs was just the one asking of the... Considering the armored figure made my dagger, which happens to be a forced attachment by a thing that calls itself a god, or whatever it truly is. I suspect there was a connection when I explained in detail what it was to Justice and Deli, so I do not think that creature simply sought you out and vanished without reason. Is your mind still yourself?
Yeah. Still me. Nothing different. It is just Angela and me and myself.
I'm going to sniff at her to see if there's any scent that might remind me of the particular individual that I do not like dealing with.
Roll me a perception.
18.
Definitely smells of something.
Details, if I can get that, or...
I would say, yeah, it definitely smells of something astral. You can't, maybe it might be some of her doing, or maybe have a hand in pulling some strings, but you can't tell entirely. Because you technically never sniffed Astra.
This is true. The best Fangs will go, you were in the astral plane.
And how are you sure about that?
Because I was there briefly myself.
Then you should know what happened.
Well, not the right thing to say to him.
And as I say that, I cast minor illusion.
Alicia.
To induce a nightmare.
Not exactly how that works, but are you trying to create this person you saw?
No.
Okay.
I'm
that's
just
not-
trying to,
Because minor illusion just lets you create something. It doesn't like.
no, I'm trying to remember what it was.
Fear, Phantasmal Killer.
I hope not Phantasmal Killer.
Dream.
Dream's way too early because I don't think we have X. No, we would.
Never mind. I completely blanked on it.
No worries.
Fangs will just add. But he is going to make it very clear the next word he says, Alicia. And he's, again, everyone would remember, he doesn't really call people by their full names. But almost at all. I do worry about things that are in the astral plane. From my own experience.
Like what?
I believe Justice has the best term of it of manipulation and tugging at the gaslighting.
Fake God made him have a fake sister. He really hates her. Really.
It is why I'm curious if it is, well, from what you have said, I worry as to what price or scheme it is working on you.
Now I want to try to persuade Vincent that there's nothing wrong.
You can just talk to them like
Yeah.
normally. Again, I generally am not a huge fan of trying to use it. Unless it's deception, and then that still gets into very But you can just like think about how you would like just talk to them normally and try to tell them how nothing's wrong.
Assure you, Fangs, there's nothing wrong. As I like look directly into his eyes.
I hate how my mind just like
Nothing
thought.
wrong.
What do I see in those eyes?
They seem normal. Like there's nothing heinous or anything from what you can tell.
Yeah, he's not calm. Fangs actually gets a little bit closer, or at least moves his head a little bit more closer. I will say, if you're dealing with Austria, the replacement of the now gone Raven Queen, I pray that your endeavors with her do not leave any lasting anger and resentment. From my own experience and from my father's experience with her, she will use you for her benefit, and as as the saying that I have come to understand, leave you out to dry and die in misery.
I am pretty certain I don't even know who you're talking about.
Then did this person give you a name?
No. You saw them. They were silent as ever. Not a single word.
I'm sure there was more to that than just a silent treatment.
Like what?
Fangs turns a little bit before he leaves. Thinks about his next words carefully. I will not guess what goes on in the minds of those that are clearly our enemies. I hope for all of our sakes they have not enticed you into their scheme. Just head over, check up on Mal again.
Well, he got dropped on the floor, so now he's not on the floor. Alright. Deli, what are you doing with, Gruffy?
I was just barely watching this exchange.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to do anything or not.
No, Scruffy's just here.
Aw.
I suppose the other thing too is just Fang's a lot more colder now.
I left my arms and cast Minor Illusion behind Deli. There's a stand ape.
Fucking stop. You can't see it. Applied. Oh my god. Hold on. Where was I? Oh, yes. I'm just gonna make this big because I don't want to keep shrinking it and moving it. I'll make it this big. Did I miss anything exciting?
Yeah.
Oh, darn. Why does it look like someone just shit in the bed all over here?
Well, a herd of floating black sheep broke the anti-magic barrier around the prison.
I see. Why sheep?
Kind of their calling card.
Actually,
Wait,
rather
that's what
annoying.
happened?
Yes, we saw a massive flock of sheep flying in the air that made it go dark.
Oh. I was wondering how the hell they got in.
They, I believe, as where I heard it from one of you, lemmings to a cliff.
Well, from my understanding, the barrier was anti-magic. There's nothing that normally should cause that much of a magical surge, as far as I'm aware.
There was a lot.
Yeah. Should be anti-magical up to, well, yeah, I mean, it was designed for that, so, I mean, it should be good at from 8th to 9th. I mean, they can put anyone with a 9th level capability, my understanding.
what worries me, because most of 9th level buffoonery is reserved for, if I recall, the keystones and a few select higher-ups.
Perhaps one of those stones or higher-ups desired this situation.
Why? Wouldn't really make any sense.
Again, as I had said to Alicia, I try not to think too much in the mind of our enemies, or potential enemies.
Something weird going on here.
I
just
fully
even get
agree.
my coffee bath. It just kind of floats into it and then just can't sink into it because of the floaty. Damn this thing.
Fangs pauses, looks to Deli, then to Justice, then back to Deli, then to Justice. So, I see that not only is Diana missing, but
Oh, she should be right behind me.
I do not see her there, as Fangs kind of points. Oh,
Check your backpack, thanks.
but, were you able to, I believe the word is, obtain or learn anything new?
No, but I apparently need to go to my house, so...
Are we taking it back from your oppressor?
Technically, it's my apartment, not his. Or above table. That's what I was understanding.
Yeah,
about
it's your house. Basically, how I had wrote it in, and because how I remember having it explained to me. This is basically your own. It was originally his summer home, but you kind of just took most of the deed for yourself using some legal loophole bullshit. So it's essentially your home, from my understanding. Because I remember you had told me it was a summer home originally, and I was like, I figured you probably
family-wise, but you know.
Yeah, I would imagine Justice probably used it enough as a base of operations that she found enough legal loopholes to just take it since her father wasn't using it really that much anyway. That's what I kind of figured, but I'll leave that up.
Either that, or she would have just left it in his because fuck him. But
True.
not that they were paying anything on it anyway, probably. But
It's amazing what happened write-offs you can get when you're writing it.
yeah.
Anyway.
At least maybe we get a decent night's sleep, or we get killed. I don't know.
Both options involve me being unconscious. I think I'm alright with that.
Not that they were paying anything on it anyway, probably. Alright.
There's also the one, what was it? The auction, but I don't know if you're on it.
Oh, shite.
Is that today?
From what I recall, yes.
Shit,
Alright,
fuck,
no
ass.
kills for
Alright, let's
people.
go.
Damn it, I wish I had time to buy a shotgun.
Maybe we'll find one there.
Alright. There's something about cocking a shotgun before you would do something important. It just sounds so much better.
Alright,
Billy.
so...
Billy cocks his arm. Yeah.
You hear all the timepieces just breaking in it. Alright.
Oh,
So
shit.
as you all getting on, let me find the view map.
I guess during this time I'll take the short rest, or
Sure.
she has to get
Yeah,
back
probably.
some HP and other stuff. That's 12. I'll take one more.
So as you guys are riding your happy ass down to the sold in their black market. Kind of go back and forth and come through a few different alleyways, and then you come to this place that just spans even like all these different roadways and alleyways, just lined to the brim with shops. You see people with signs for selling slaves. You see signs for people selling their souls. You hear different kind of currencies outside of Electrum, like soul coins being passed around. There's every kind of walk of life. You see devils. You see like gangsters armed to the teeth. Justice, you would know this. This is just like, sure, the Bazaar has its like standards and its kind of iron fist rule over making sure that productivity is sold fairly. This is just anything kind of goes. Make sure your coin pouches are safe by, or else you're gonna lose that and maybe a few fingers.
Everybody stay close, keep your money to yourself. Probably near your genitals. So that way you know if somebody's reaching for it. I hope.
People will probably just take the genitals too. Like,
Yeah.
that's not gonna stop them.
So where are we on the map?
You would be, like, right at the tippy top, like, right around
Whatever you
this corner.
do, if someone offers you a red room experience, stay the fuck away from them.
Are we free to stab them or tear their spine out?
But you know they will stab you back.
I mean, technically, yes. But
I believe the term you had used was self-defense.
yeah, self-defense is fine. Or if you feel someone reaching for your junk. And you don't want them to. I mean, if you want them to, that's one
probably where Snowy goes 90% of the time, I would assume.
God, no. She has standards.
You're acting like there's people in this place that probably don't have standards.
Snowy has good standards.
Okay. So if you want to throw yourself down there.
Snowy only comes here for supplies. But even then,
I can imagine.
She feels gross after coming out of here.
There you go, that's more fitting.
Remember that one really charming bar?
We don't talk about that bar. Pretty sure it's castrated many a folk.
Well, the barkeep did, but she had her reasons. Diana? Or no. Diana? Do
Say
not
anything good?
touch it.
She puts her hands in her pockets. Don't worry, I won't steal anything.
Seriously, they will stab you.
I'll think about it.
I will stand there and watch that.
I will think about it, and she, like, finger guns you. Why do I feel like I know how to play this character way too well? Anyway. Zab, are you there? Or did you have to step? Okay, if you want to just throw your token up there, then. Yep, no problem. So yeah, you come down, you kind of abandon your cart because the alleyway kind of shrinks up a little bit more, and there's a... Here, I'll just pick one more time.
Justice walks over with a scarf, puts it over Elise's head, covers the ears.
Well,
Let's go for double.
I do not. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Alright.
And if anybody asks, well, my sex slaves, get over it.
Aha!
The only way we're getting through this.
Hell yes.
I can finally embrace my sexy body. Anyway. So, like I said, you just round a corner that it's a little too, like, closed off for your carriage off through, so you kind of dismount. And, like I said before, it's just an alleyway filled to the brim with all these salespeople kind of selling. You see occasional knives being drawn only for like store keeps to draw bigger knives. It's kind of that whole situation. It definitely ain't great. You watch people going through. You watch people kind of. Shut up. You watch people going through kind of chained and bound. You see, again, devils kind of counting large stacks of coin.
Fangs will just ask Justice, and I had forgotten the reason why we are here again for.
Lisa needs a book, and I'm here to potentially settle a score for Pie. Right? She kind of shakes the hand.
Yeah. He's hoping Houston isn't here. Maybe she will be. Tends to be here anyway, since most people frequent this fuckhole.
And if we believe the raccoon. She was a raccoon, right?
The raffle ticket.
The raffle ticket? Fucking hate that.
That was what she called herself, did she not?
No, she called herself Rathole. The TH.
Raffle.
I'm not even gonna try
Don't
anymore.
try to, yeah. Just
Hold on.
leave him.
Let me.
But that being said, which should we prioritize first then?
Not getting stabbed.
I
like that plan.
I meant the objectives.
Well, if I'm understanding something correctly, one is where the other one is going to head to, so that actually solves both of our problems at the same time.
So,
Fantastic.
Well, keep on keeping on then.
I want to look around to see if there's any familiar jars of liquor at any of these stalls.
Roll me a perception at advantage.
And Justice sniffs around for gunpowder.
There's that one crazy gunpowder wielder in the back. Waiting. I'm just kidding. You're watching too much fucking fucking too much CR.
I learned that the hard way.
Thank you.
Fangs is just gonna keep pace with Justice. He really is focusing
Deli,
on things.
definitely. There's a few jars kind of scattered throughout.
I see price
Especially-
tags on them.
It's a possum and a top hat rocks by.
Yeah.
And none of us recognize it. We're just like, damn, that was
a possum and
well
a possum with a monocle and a fake mustache and like those shitty goggles, like those glasses with the nose and the mustache.
Only one of us recognizes him.
Yeah, because the disguise is so good.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's definitely like some price tags on them. Maybe upcharged a little bit, probably just because they want to try to extort some people for some extra cash. But you could also see like they're very hesitant to like not sell it, but like try to take money, because you notice they are upcharging for like daggers and like even other just general weaponry. But these would probably be closer to something. They're like upcharged so you can make a profit off it, basically.
Oh, absolutely.
God bless you.
Deli will kind of look at one. Don't water down my product.
We'll try not to, as this literal kind of skeletal thing with like basically a candle on its head. Kind of hard when alcohol and fire don't mix.
Well, yeah, no, that's fine. But don't open that or.
You see as he does, you see as he does, like he takes a jar and kind of, like this was probably like, you know, they're more your sampler jars of like a smaller one, and you just watch it throw it into its hood, and it kind of just like a small explosion kind of comes out from its face.
It's just blue, like the fire turns straight blue.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the shit that I make.
Usually good testing quality.
Sure, Jimmy will be around if you need another couple samplers.
Understand.
Ellie, don't get lost.
I'm right behind you.
Not
She was referring
Ellie.
to
Ellie.
Alicia.
Oh, the other Ellie.
Yes.
Mostly because I'm not paying to buy you back, okay?
as you're kind of walking, again, you see all these different salespeople here. See this tiefling kind of selling all kinds of interesting bullshit. Majestus, you do hear a voice that kind of catches you. Roll me a perception. Okay. You can't really put your finger on what, but for a brief moment, you thought you heard someone familiar, probably someone that would have been closely worked with your father, or at least you would have heard the voice a few times. But it gets through all the throngs of people. Can't really make out anything. And just so you know, the auction hall, I think it'd be this building right here. I do have an interior, thankfully.
What's this guy in front selling, or whatever they are?
They're selling a lot of different smaller potions and kind of just probably some other spell components that were unnaturally acquired. There's like rings of fingers, shit like that. A few like rabbit's foot, but like actually fresh from the rabbit, etc. Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just curious?
Oh, I was just curious.
Okay. Like, well, good luck at the auction. You're going to need it. There's a lot of high-ticket buyers tonight.
So that sounds fun.
Usually is. As they kind of just have you walk in and let me get the auction.
Kind of leans back to Fangs and whispers in his ear. Just be ready to kill everyone.
I most certainly am.
I'm hungry.
You say that, and you watch like a little ghost, unseen servant kind of go by with like a tray of like what you could assume is food. Also, right there then. Oh.
Don't buy it. You'd be surprised how often these places lace things with incentivizers. Oh, cocaine. So there's a lot of cocaine.
Ooh.
Coconut?
Can't wait for my characters to be. You heard of the legendary drug, the Endrine Rainbow, as well. Probably laces a few foods.
Well, she's expecting that they lace it with magical shit or something that makes people, I'm gonna throw way more money at this than I need to.
It's like being drunk, but persuasive. Alright. As you enter a room, you see it's kind of relatively quiet. There's a few people, as the one woman that had said when you're entering. A lot more high quality, a lot smaller people, but a lot more, as you can tell, higher end people.
Anybody I recognize from smell or sound?
roll me perception. Okay, so you hear like an old man smoking a cigar, gentleman over here, and you actually know that person as he's one of the actual crime bosses of one of the crime families known as the Lizettes. Let me get his token. And he's worked exclusively with your father, and is probably one of the people that have came up because of your father's upbringing, and I would say not so much a muscle man, but also does some of the work and kind of reaps the benefits. So let me get his. There we go. And also in the corner, you hear from your wrist his pie kind of just faded away. Watch for the one in the back, I think. You may have found the one you're looking for, as you see this individual kind of just sitting, watching intently at everyone else. Not so much taking notes, but more of a relaxed position. Or kind of like surveying the room as people enter in.
Above board, just to remember,
What's up?
Justice's father worked with that Canary against Pi, or
Yes, from what you have been told and information you have so far, basically it's this Canary, Houston, was above Pi, and basically is the reason, from your understanding of how Pi fell, more or less, and basically colluded with your father.
okay. Is the auction about to begin, or is it
It's
just
kind of like people just like sitting around waiting, as Rathel's kind of like going through her stuff, kind of figure out what to sell. So we can kind of like
Thing is just
just
keeping up with Justice, but he's also making sure to be behind her in a way, showing, or at least presenting the presence of she's the head authority, so he's just simply shadowing her.
Can I help you?
if I'm not mistaken, is the ones that goes by Houston?
That would be me, yes.
But has it you made a deal with my father a while ago?
I make deals with a lot of people. You're gonna have to be more specific there, sweetie.
It was a deal to fuck over another of your kind. And he has the sword.
Damn shame. Says she's kind of like drinking out of some kind of flask, you can't tell what.
How much is it for you to go back on that deal?
I don't know. Depends on who's asking. How much are they willing to front?
Was that bastard's daughter?
You see as she's just still drinking and just a smirk kind of comes across her face as she slowly puts down the flask. No, I thought about that. That would happen if all this shit came to be. And perhaps maybe I was already paid off by your old man if I saw you walk in here. Maybe not.
Well,
Yeah.
my experience with your kind is you'd already killed me. Oh, you're going for the long game and you want to play with me and make me so annoyed that I kill myself.
I mean, isn't that what the one on your wrist is doing right now there? So
We've come to an agreement.
you've come to an agreement with the devil and you don't think you're getting played?
Justice just blankly stares at her.
Do it yourself. And to answer your other question, depends on how much you're willing to give up a life in order to not trade it for another.
Justice leans in close. At this point, how much of mine is it going to cost?
Sweetie, if I'm gonna do a deal with you, I don't want you actually dead. Just someone close to you that you would care about, or something like that.
I don't really have anyone.
You got a nice chain on your wrist at the very least.
That's part of the deal I'm making with you.
So, above the table, are you basically trying to trade pie to, like, get her off your back?
No, Justice is trading herself for this one to kill her dad and get Pie's sword back.
Okay. I'm trying to think of this a little bit for a second. I mean, you always got your tutor, too. Problem, kid, is if you do want to make that contract, I need you still alive, and I don't prefer your life on the line to ensure that I can still collect. So, I could take some expectancies off your tutor. I can grab part of the chain. Or maybe someone of yours in this little gag of fun could be missing some pieces. My patience is limited and I only live a few times, so make quick with your decision. I don't prefer you humans, or your kind, don't think. Rather you do. So pick your poison.
Just kind of stops or thinks for wrong. Then how much for you to stay the fuck out of the way?
Not interfere and I can pay. Well, I can do that for free if... Let me look. Let's see. If you help me win this little auction and get that small little time ticker that one's going for. Kind of points at Alicia. Be more fun in my hands than I'm thinking. Hers.
Me?
No, so basically what she's saying is she wants Justice to throw the auction for her to get it, so you don't.
I'll think about it.
And I'll think about not getting in your way then. She says as she starts drinking again.
Oh, crap. Before Justice leaves... Oh, Justice already left, but...
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I rolled a wisdom for
Yeah.
this, so Fangs kind of blurts out a little bit. Why is that thing so important? And then he also adds, pardons, I was thinking out loud.
Thanks. Roll me a con save.
Sure.
Yeah, con. This is some homebrew fun.
13.
All right, so you did it, Pat. As you say the second part, you watch her just kind of tap her sword on the ground, and your like mouth is. You feel like these wires just running through it, and it's just wired shut. No questions there. The business people are talking. We don't need the idiots involved.
In that case, again, I'll give it some thought. See
Very
what
well.
I can do.
Thanks. That lasts for a minute.
Can I use my claws to cut it open?
No, it's magically sealed. So it is a homebrew spell I have called Stitch and Silence, where basically for 1 minute, if you fail the con save, you technically cannot use any vocal components for spells, as well as talk.
Oh, it's like Witch's Tooth.
Pretty much. So you just, for a minute, you have this magical wiring just keeping your mouth shut.
Winston.
How'd you, hold on, my brain trying to make a Cockney accent and then just insult every British person? What do I'm trying to think how I want to do this. And what do nope, don't want that. British. There we go. And what exactly do I owe the pleasure of a bastard daughter?
First of all, he took me in, so I'm not a bastard. And second of all, other than the clear and present reason why we're here, I didn't think you would be. So the question would be, I'm going in on a new venture. Are you interested?
I didn't know she was Syndra. Like the came off as Syndra.
No, this is her doing like the proper Schlankton.
Oh, okay. I was very confused. I'm like, holy shit, Syndra came in?
That's the switch off. Is like she's used with the crime families and like politics. There's the proper Schlankton and there's the Schlankton she speaks because she wants to be completely divorced from the situation.
And what proper venture would you be looking into?
Well, clearing out the old problems, like Daddy.
He keeps me on a good payroll. Why would I want to leave that?
Because you're better at your own ventures.
Only a persuasion.
That's a 25.
Yeah, I know. No. Always did think I could strike it rich without that bastard breathing down my neck. Can I assure at the very least you won't be doing the same?
Be honest. It'll be between you and the rest. I'll be hitting the road as soon as this is over.
I assume you're trying to get other crimes. You're trying to disassemble his whole empire.
I've already done half of it.
Well, You and I both know the Station would never align with him even if they wanted to. Being all spiritual and all that bullshit. Believing in the
Yes,
fighter and the warrior.
The Station and you are the two situations that will have to deal with each other. We're just getting rid of the answer at the top. Because you know he's been running this whole thing into the ground.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Wrestle up some men. Have a fun time at it.
But normally if you can just get some of his closer ones away from him for a time, especially during the trial, perhaps afterwards, it's coming up, that would probably be the best.
Let me roll something for him real quick.
Or just not be there.
I heard a rumor going around, actually, considering the prison incident, that the Keystone himself is actually coming to Soldna.
Yes, the black sheep are very, very interestingly dumb, or... Because I'm pretty sure the bounty on us is not that high.
Yes, it does make me wonder why exactly the herd are making moves. Enough so to entice a fucking Keystone to come down here. Considering he never leaves fucking good around.
His daddy likes to suck his dick, probably.
Wouldn't put it past him. Like I said, we'll see what happens.
Because let's be honest, with the economy as it is, which is higher than profit, profits have got to be sucking since then. Watching this whole place sink into a cesspool it is. Not like back in the old days when the people paid because they liked you.
That till they fucking stop using Electrum as a currency, but that's a whole other political issue.
Well, there's a lot to change that could happen. Well, anyway,
Alright.
Winston, give it some thought.
We'll keep it
You
in
always
mind.
were the smarter ones.
If only flattery got you that far. He says kind of as he tips his hat.
She nods to him.
Fucking slowly making back alley deals just to murder everyone.
Justice knows the fucking game, and she's sadly
That's why I
running
enjoy-
that line between,
That's why.
am I still
this
a
is
good
why,
person or am I a fucking murderer?
Why I love this arc, because it's kind of the moral dilemma. Alright. Hold on, I think Sam's BRB, so if we just want to take a quick, 5-minute break or so, or not even 5 minute, but just, get some water, go to the bathroom, etc.
Sounds good.
Who's these other two people?
Well, it's very hard for Fangs to get it edge-worded, because Fangs doesn't know this, and... Ah, boy. Alright, I'll be right back.
Sorry, Bangs, Justice just doesn't realize you can't speak.
It happens.
She's probably just sitting there going, wow, Fangs is being really quiet.
Yeah, Jelly's got a plan. Mainly to teach these Schlankenites who's really rich.
Oh, Justice got a plan, too.
I'm sure yours involves a lot more murder than mine.
I mean, there is that possibility of killing everybody in the room, but she just made a back alley deal with one dude, so she kind of wants to be a little bit more civil. I feel like I'm playing one of those old gangster movies.
Let's just say if it's less than 5,000 gold, it's good.
Oh, you know this is gonna be way higher than that. We're gonna have to play some real crazy shit.
Yeah, I suspect there's gonna be a lot of other alliances that we're not aware of. Right now,
I have a plan, and I just need Deli to go along with it.
Yeah, the first thing I wanted to say as soon as he brought that picture up was like, "Oh, she's hot."
Which one? Houston?
The one you hate.
Oh, yeah.
What are they called? The fucking
Canary.
wolf girl.
Yeah, Houston. Houston, I think they called her.
The one over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Houston.
that's Houston. That's the other Canary, the one that fucked over Pie.
Yeah, I was dealing with the dog, so I didn't get the name.
Yeah,
No
she was
worries.
also the one that cast a spell to sew Fang's mouth shut.
Yep, Seal and Stitch.
Actually, I need to talk to Sam, but when Sam get her, Elise when Elisa gets back.
Yeah. She's in the restroom. Or Stitch and Seal, sorry. That's what it's called. Oh, basically, it's a... I want to say I have it as a second level spell. I have it as an innate ability, but it'd probably be a second level spell that basically cuts off using... If they fail a con save, they cuts off using their voice or vocal components of a spell for a minute, and they can't talk either.
There any save at the end of round or anything?
Nope. Might be a higher...
Oh.
That should be
Yeah,
a
it's-
higher level spell if it's gonna
Yeah.
be like that.
It's like, it's...
Or even...
I'd say probably 5th or 6th, or it's more of an innate ability kind of thing. But basically, it's magically sealed. You can technically get around it through dispel magic, since it is magically sealed, but you
Oh.
can't rip it off normally.
I was gonna use the bone dagger at this point to cut that, or
It's
attempt
a
to cut it.
minute. It's a minute long.
I know,
I don't
that's,
think.
I was saying the bone dagger. Fang doesn't
I know.
He's just gonna try it.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to try it.
I am.
Roll me a D100. I'm gonna get the wild magic sheet out.
I mean, he's already sitting down, so we got a 31.
Okay. It lasts a little bit shorter because probably like 30 seconds of you're kind of just cutting through, but then you undo the seals kind of from cutting at it, or cutting at it, quotation marks. And your lips are basically unsealed.
Yep. Fangs will just speak to Deli, low voice too. Careful of that one over there, as he gestures toward the wolf-looking woman sitting there. She uses a spell that magically binds your mouth shut.
Oh, she's cute and knows magic?
I am warning you in the event that she may use that on you, as you are a user of the arts along with the other.
Yeah, I'll keep it in mind.
Is Sam back?
I do not know. They said they had to use the restroom, so... What I'm waiting on.
I just posted that GIF thinking, this is how I expected half of this to end.
More than likely. It's slowly going down that road. Someone's gonna be in a bar. Or it's gonna end like, fucking what is it? Inglorious Bastards, where they kill him, but they're all just gonna die in the building on fire anyway.
I might strap to our legs the fucking silver nitrate laced gasoline goes up in flame.
I mean, Fangs really just has one individual he wants dead above all else, but slowly there's just being added more people in there now.
Doesn't help that. See, Alicia was working with Nemesis, not Astria. Come on.
At the moment, Fangs cannot distinguish the two of them.
It's the same person. It's just a funny name switch because technically Nemesis is also the goddess of balance in Greek mythology.
Wasn't
She's the goddess of vengeance.
Isn't Justicia a nemesis in odds?
Yes and no, because Justicia believes in the good and kind of balance, where Nemesis believes in the righteous scales of justice in the sense of vengeance. So it's kind of like they're at odds, but they still together hold the core belief that makes up both ends of the scales.
Okay.
At least that's my understanding. And then you have Estrella, who is the literal goddess of scales. It's all Greek.
Well, just as my usual expression towards the whole Greek mythology, it's Greek, I don't fucking understand it, I don't want to understand it, I'm just gonna blow it all up.
This is why I like Valley. God of oaths and vengeance.
Sounds about right. This is why I like
Skylord. Skyfather.
I have not read up on my Norse in a while. I say that as I have a literal inspired Norse character in another campaign.
You back,
Anyway.
Sam?
I think they are. Yeah, she's back, right? Sam? Hello? Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go. Well, if you want to do anything.
Just to sit down next to Alicia. So, is this book? Is it like a one-time reading thing, or do you need it, like, for an extended period of time?
Probably extended amount of time.
Okay, that kills that plan.
But you never know.
Okay, just wanted to see. Thought of another way, you got it, you could read it real quick, and then we pass it off, everybody's happy, but, if that's not the case, then,
Actually, good question. I wanna... What?
Said hello.
Well,
What would you like to do?
I want to pull out Archimedes.
Oh boy, okay. Let me get his fucking token. Should have it. Here's Sharkimedes. Ah, it smells rather dank in here. Good lord, it's why I hated the dark districts.
Archimedes.
Close enough.
I have a question for you.
I may have an answer depending on what you ask.
So let's say I need a book, alright? Would you, per se, be able to copy the entire book into yourself? Like, store a copy of the book?
I may, but I would have to get rid of one of my full things of information.
Okay.
What would you like to get rid of?
we need
I
some
haven't
sand
written
tapes. We need some sand tapes.
So he has astral plane, tofu recipes. Hold on, I have it on the sheet. Never mind, I do not.
I have
It should be
a...
in my
Oh wait,
notes,
no,
so-
it's literally, it's on his Bible. Sand apes, tofu prep, astral planes, and Avu fairy tales.
Okay. Tofu prep.
Goodbye, Lady Tofu. And you just hear, data memory purged. Oh, you again? Just kidding. All right, now give me the book.
About that. We have to win it in this auction, so you can copy it.
Wait, you're telling me you had me delete data to make room for something you don't even have yet, or could not have at all?
Yes. for one reason. I pull Archimedes in close, turning away from Justice. Archimedes, there's some staying kaput. That dankness in the air you smelled is what is afoot. There's something.
I'm not sure I follow, Miss Alicia.
Just trust my gut feeling that.
Well, I physically can't betray you as part of my programming, so...
Okay, besides the point. I just want to make sure I have a copy of said book if I win said book.
And if you don't win?
Well, we have a free slot for something else.
I'm going to murder myself.
Or
Yeah,
you could get back in the backpack. You don't have to be awake. You could go to sleep again.
I choose when I can wake, not you. But at the very least, I won't betray you. As he kind of floats back into the backpack. Alright, so good luck with that. You have a free space.
And to find out and a coordinate.
Yeah, the plot twist, the fucking mechanical manuscript is actually just the coordinates for the Tower of Babel. Or the ruins of Babel now at this point. Imagine. Anyway.
Or the fact that the secret tofu recipe was something that could help increase our stats forever.
Hey, you chose what you wanted to delete. I'm surprised you didn't do the fairy tales.
I don't even remember the fairy tales.
You never asked about them as a thing. No one asked about them. I have them.
I feel like knowledge holds sometimes a little bit more than just stats alone.
I mean, tofu prep, you could have used it to make, like, tofu so good you could have opened your own restaurant business at the end of the game or something.
Right, but you know me, you know that's not me.
True, you just want to murder everything by the end of the game.
No.
It hasn't been fireballed, it hasn't seen her.
The knowledge holds the key to the gabagool.
Oh my god. I can't. Anyway. Alright. It seems like we have everyone here. First and foremost, as... God, it's been so damn long since I've done one of these. As you see her kind of like hold her hand out and kind of move one of these. Hold on. Can I move this? Oh, hell yeah. The smaller chest. This is for Draxel, because for some things they asked. And you see this kind of androgynous looking drow looking at the chest and just kind of shakes their head, and you watch as what looks like a small, like, little swarm of leaves kind of pick it up and help them carry it, and they carry that chest out. And alright, that takes care of all water and food supplies that I was owed. Blah blah blah. Alright. I might as well just start with a hot ticket item, since that seems to be what everyone's here for anyway. We're gonna put up the mechanical manuscript, supposedly a legendary item that, and I don't believe in religion, that supposedly could help restructure the universe or some bullshit. At this point,
Wait, you're selling the supposed manuscript? You can't even
no,
verify?
no. I can verify that this is the real manuscript.
Get her.
I'm going. You just fucking say get her.
No.
Ew. I'm selling the real deal, and she'll hold out like what looks like a long kind of, or like a decently sized book. The problem is, I don't know how to read all this bullshit text. Half of it's written in a language I can't understand. But through a few other things, I could at least verify, as she kind of taps it with, like, from one of the blue lights kind of coming from her candle and, like, holds it over the book, but it doesn't catch fire, kind of, like, changes different color. I can at least verify that it is the manuscript. Alright, bidding price starts at, let's say, at least 100 Electrum and go from there. Alright. So... So it's gonna start out at 100 Electrum. I have a few, like, caps for individuals who are gonna throw what. Mostly. So, have fun. Justice, you also have you were also told to throw it. So.
Yep.
I will leave that purely up to you if you want to or not.
Is anybody called out on the first, or?
Not currently, no.
Just
Also.
raise your hand.
Okay.
Nobody else does.
Alright. I got 100. And then you hear from the back room, 250. Alright, 250.
300.
300. Alright. Going once. And then you hear someone else yelling out, 432.
500.
You know, I wanted to have some fun. 700.
Nine.
1200.
2,000.
2,100. All right.
6,000.
Now, let me roll something to see if she's going to be that much of a cock or not. Oh, she definitely is. How much did you say? 6,000?
Yeah.
10,000?
Just kind of thinks for a moment, reaches in her coat, touches something. $15,000.
Let me roll one more time. Alright, going once. Going twice. Sold for 15. As you kind of watch, you hear in the back of your mind, I'll see where we stand then. Unless you wish to give me a little bit of a present.
How can we meet you?
Pretty sure your home looks a little bit nice this time of year, since it seems like you're going there, ain't it? And as she says that, she just walks out of the room, sipping with two of her swords, kind of glowing a bluish orb before she heads out.
Charlie will tip his hat to her. Still scruffy.
And as you do that, Justice Rathel kind of comes down. Alright. Here's the manuscript. Good luck reading any of that.
Justice takes out a piece of paper, writes off some numbers on it, and there's your percentage of ownership of property.
4?
1,000.
Wait, for what? Wait, what? So above table, did you just give her like part of your house as property?
Yeah.
Or as fault? God damn it! All right.
I had a stupid plan and it worked. Think I have that much money on me?
Oh, 100% you don't.
I
All
do.
right. I was gonna say, Dally probably was gonna front into the bill.
That's what I thought. I was going to be the one betting, and then she's throwing out numbers. I'm like, well, I want to see how far this goes.
Well, Justice is liquidating her assets in this town at the same time.
Oh. Well, I could always use an extra storehouse. Not a huge fan of Luwood. Too many rich pricks. No, good to run extortions on. Though,
It's very accessible for people with disabilities.
I'm not too worried about that, but she looks at Deli. If you could also throw in a few things of moonshine that I can resell, much obliged.
Done and done. Oh,
Fair
flavor
enough.
stuff, just regular.
Depends how much you want on a repeat customer, she says with a wink.
All right, that good stuff it is.
Skill.
Jelly will take out. I mean, since he's a practitioner, so probably like these. He will take out the healing spiced moonshine and put 3 of those in a satchel. And the rest of his spiced mega moonshine. So that's probably about 2-3 grand worth of moonshine he's given her.
She'll give you 300 platinum.
Much obliged.
Either way.
He'll point at the healing charge. Those are best used as like hangover, like hair of the dog kind of situation. He points at the mango ones. These will get you fucked up.
Well, maybe once you're done with all your fun revolutionary, you could come to my shop for the more, how do they say, red mark store?
Do you mean discount or?
No. She'll just walk the other way. Nelly, you can kind of, if you want to roll an insight to pick up what she's putting down.
Telly won't need to. Telly's never been hit on before in his life.
Well, technically you've been stalked, so it's
I've
like
been
being hit on.
stalked, but this is blatant.
Yeah, you can tell she's hitting on you, like, and not like actually hitting you for once.
Justice, you just feel the blood rush to Telly's cheeks.
And she walks past. Why, she was, she definitely turned on by something.
My natural dwarven charms. He'll take off his hat and sweep back his mane of hair.
Yeah, with the one bald spot. Or wait, no, is it like, I think we described it before, it's like fucking Fit from Adventures hat, right? Where it's like just fucking disgusting.
It's just
Looks
like for some reason
luxurious.
just completely majestic, even though it's constantly under a hat.
That's what I thought. Alright, do you give Alicia the book?
I wait until we're out of the freaking room for that, but yeah.
Okay.
As we're heading out, thanks, we'll catch up and just ask quietly to Justice and goes, are we need to worrying about the one that just left?
She's probably gonna try and kill us.
I need to put some cardio in.
What's cardio?
When you run a lot.
Oh, what I do a lot.
Yes, and it pays off, I can tell. Your heart rate is exceptional. Even in the middle of the night when you go running around this place for no reason.
Looks over to Deli. Do you have heart problems?
I got
Telly looks down at his gut. Yes.
I have
I mean,
a
Deli
crazy
is-
heart.
Deli does have a slight murmur on the third ventricle, which for a dwarf is kind of common, but it might progress into something worse, Deli. I would suggest getting that taken care of.
You know any surgeons you trust around here?
Depends on if they have to see or not.
Right. I will
I
give you my
Professor
training
Lieutenant is
regimen.
like the person I go to, yes.
She pulls out a pair of gloves.
If you are
Oh,
fine
no.
with it, Deli, I can give you my training regimen.
Fangs, run 3 hours a day.
Get up at 3 a.m. or run across the house, run across.
Oh, it's actually a lot of climbing, actually. It's a lot of climbing.
I was gonna say, no, there's no way.
You can up on the shelves too, but there's definitely the windowsills and the...
But,
Thanks, I'm not really a pull-ups kind of guy.
what are pull-ups? What are you pulling up, actually?
Climbing.
It is not that difficult. He just has to continuously go uphill.
Please tell me you gave Alicia the book while you're all talking. Okay. As you're talking, Alicia, you look at the book, you give it a once over, and then something feels weird. Hold on. I need some mood music for this.
Some moon music, you mean?
No, not moon. That's haunted. We don't ever go there.
That's where the goblins come from.
Anyway,
Yes.
so
Moon is quite nightmarish.
Shut the fuck. Anyway, as you touch the book and you're kind of like skimming through its pages, you notice something odd, especially kind of reading through it. A lot of this in the book, one, is deep speech, which you can obviously read, but two, a lot of it is in close to your handwriting. And that's where we're going to end the session for tonight.
Wait, deep speech or undercommon?
Deep speech. Specifically deep speech.
Okay.
How deep is it? Like
Like
probably
Mariana
yeah.
Trench deep.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's pretty deep.
It's about as deep as a 13-year-old going through the internet. So very deep. Yeah, I know.
There we go.
It's very specifically deep speech.
Okay.
But anyway,
I was
I'd like to
wondering.
thank everyone for joining us. We're down a few players, and I really didn't want to do all too heavy combat because it'd be kind of hard with some of the stuff I have set up, and I don't want to just murder like 2/3 of our party. So yeah, but I think we got some decent plot in. We met some fun new characters, and yeah. You can find me at Transpace Mariner on Twitch, DM Mariner on Twitter, and I'll throw it over to tomorrow's DM, Moogle.
I'm totally prepared for tomorrow. Yeah, totally.
Not
Yeah,
prepared
so
for
I
today.
have Ravenloft, a campaign that goes tomorrow and every other Monday. Outside of that, I don't really have much to talk about because I'm on a break from things, and other than that, throw it over to the Monday we missed, Jeebus.
Yeah, speaking of Mondays, I'm James Stigus on Twitter and YouTube, and last week I had COVID. I was still kind of planning on having a session, but then that Monday came around and I had to work, and everything just decided to stop for me. So, thankfully I have very understanding players who are just like, get better, and I did. So, soon we will be returning to the wonderful world of Cordova, and probably heading towards the Umbran Forest. I will throw it over to Miser.
Hello, everyone. I am Miser. I play Fangs on Blades that just got himself split into 2 variables. That being said, I am the DM for Into the Wildlands on Sundays. Every other Sunday with Mariner. And for next session, it seems like the players will have to decide whether they want to go deeper into the sewers after the Red Fox, or well, go check out that weird screaming noise that they heard. And all my content is on YouTube and Twitch by Miser Mark. Sam, do you want to plug anything, or?
No.
Alright.
Okay. Off to
Yeah, I'd
Mariner
like
for
to
the
thank-
outro.
I'd like to thank everyone for showing up, doing all this fun. Killing a child with a rock, I guess.
I never had
That child. Yeah, I did. It's recorded.
She's got a track record now for killing.
Children. Yeah, she's a child endangerment. She's gonna be the Child Protective Service, the CPS, called on her soon. Anyway, yeah, thanks again. We'll see you all in 2 weeks, where we maybe go home, or Justice is home, and hope to see if she dies or not.
Well, we certainly got a demon wolf bitch to put down, so we're gonna put her down.
It's up to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it depends on if Alicia needs the book or not.
well, it's her handwriting, so I'll let you all deal with that however you...
Oh, I'm totally leaving this up to Alicia.
Oh, that's not my problem.
Not my problem either, except for some reason it somehow became my problem.
It's because you followed us and flanked it. Let's be honest about that.
I'm gonna be real with you, Miser. You had a 5% chance to do what you did. I hate you.